Right then, Championship Game Week 3 predictions. Now, in last week, I don't know how well I did, to be honest. I've not really looked at it properly. But hopefully this week will be a good week for me. I think I might have got a few, but I definitely missed the mark in a couple of places. I know that for sure. But let's get straight into this one. Friday night football. The only other day other than Saturday that the Championship will be in action is Friday night. Not getting that much love this week. Derby and Bristol, though, will be the game that we watch. Derby have had a bit of a sloppy start. I thought they'd be decent. And don't get me wrong, they look half decent, but they're just not getting the results that they need. And I think that will continue against Bristol City. They've shown what they mean this season. They look good. I expect them to take it here. Not by a lot, though. I might go with a 3-2 win here for Bristol City away to start off the week. It is the early kickoff, though, so you never know. Never back the early kickoff. We're going to move on to Saturday. We've got 3 12:30s, and then the rest of the games are all at 3 o'clock, just so that you're aware. We're starting off with Charlton and Leicester. Now, Charlton have proved that they mean business, and Leicester have been below average, in my opinion. A 2-1 result to Sheffield Wednesday and losing 2-1 to Preston North End. I think there's something not quite there at Leicester at the minute, but I think Charlton are proving a case. I might go for a 0-0 result here, to be honest. I think that's a crazy result to throw out there, but it might pay off. We'll have to see. I'm going to say 0-0. It's an early kickoff, and both teams are performing opposite of what I expected personally, so it makes sense that they'll meet in the middle somewhere, and I can't see many goals, to be honest. Charlton are a really good defensive side as well, and Leicester's attack has been a bit below average this season to start off with, in my opinion. So 0-0 just seems fair. Another early kickoff, Hull and Blackburn. Hull did pick up the win on Sunday against Oxford. Very scrappy though, 3-2, so only just. And you've got a Blackburn side that are struggling to get results as well. I will back them for this one though, I think. I'll go with a 2-1 result for Blackburn. A surprise, I know. A 2-1 result in one of my videos? No way. Sorry for the cuts, by the way. There's just a lot of distractions going on. But yeah, Blackburn, I think they've got what it takes here. It'd be an interesting game to keep an eye out on. And the last early kickoff is Swansea and Watford. And now I can't quite remember how these two got on. I think Watford might pick something up. They did, yes. They beat QPR and Swansea beat Sheffield United. So two teams that are playing half decent. Nothing too crazy though, but I will back Swansea with the home atmosphere here to get a win. I'm going to say Swansea beat Watford 2-0, and I'll call it there for the early kickoffs. I don't really know what to say about these teams, if I'm completely honest. The early kickoffs have been a bit meh this week, in my opinion. I think there's a few games that I prefer to see, like Sheffield United Millwall coming up later, that I would much rather be on 12:30 so I could watch it. But never mind. We've got Birmingham and Oxford to start off the 3 o'clocks. Birmingham have come up and proved that they mean business. Oxford holding that steady pace that they set last season, but I do think Birmingham are better. I expect them to pick something up at home here. I'll say 3-1 to Birmingham. Oxford didn't look too bad against Hull, but they still lost. And obviously Birmingham they've had a great start, and we can't deny this, so I think a good little win's going to come their way this week, and it'll boost the fans. I don't really know what else to say though, other than that. Stansfield probably be on that score sheet somewhere. He's been good so far, proving the haters wrong in my opinion, but it's a long season. We'll have to see what he's got left in his locker. Coventry and QPR are the next ones up. Coventry I am backing for promotion or playoffs at least this season. Big 5-3 win against Derby. So they've got goals in the locker, and my mouse has just died on a fixture, so I actually don't have the fixture list up. This is terrible. Connect back. Sorry about that. The bloody batteries. I don't. There was nothing wrong with them. It just disconnected. But yeah, Coventry and QPR. I would back Coventry to win this all day long, but I might go with a lower scoreline this week compared to last week. I might go with just the one, maybe 1-0 win against the QPR that isn't too convincing in my opinion. So, but I don't know, maybe that'd lead me to want Coventry to score more, but I'm just not. I'm not convinced that they're fluctuating a bit at the minute, and I'm erring with caution with Coventry at the minute. I'm trying to not favour them. Two teams that should be in and around the playoff talk though, Norwich and Middlesbrough. Norwich have obviously signed a lot of players after selling Husseins. They have focused on improving that defence, and is it paying off? I can't remember what they did last week. They beat Portsmouth, they lost to Millwall, and Middlesbrough beat Millwall, but I won't read into that. I won't read into that yet at all. We can't really afford to base predictions off of that. I think these are two evenly matched sides, but I can just see Norwich edging it with the home advantage at Carrow Road. I'm going to say 2-1. I know, another 2-1. It's a crime, honestly. I shouldn't be allowed to make these videos anymore. Should be banned. But I think Norwich look decent. Sargent's started the season off well. Middlesbrough, like I say, a bit, yeah, same as Coventry, you know. You just, it's too early in the season to say if they're doing good or bad. They've got promising fixtures so far. I mean, they've only played 3 games, 2 in the league and 1 in the cup, but I just think Middlesbrough are a bit off. And Norwich are steady away, really, so I'm going to say 2-1. Now, a surprising team, Preston North End, obviously, beat not Ipswich, because that's who they're playing. They beat Leicester. They've got Ipswich this week. Ipswich 2 draws so far in the league. Would I be silly if I went for another draw? I just might say 1-1 again, to be honest. The third 1-1 in a row for Ipswich, if that is the case. It seems a bit risky to say that, but I think I will. I think I'm going to say 1-1. I don't know what's not clicking at Ipswich at the minute. Yes, they've had difficult fixtures, so maybe I shouldn't say 1-1. They've had Southampton and Birmingham, 2 sides that you expect to be in and around the playoffs. But if you can't beat those teams, then the alarm bell, at least one of them. I mean, Birmingham, fair enough, that was a huge game. But Southampton, then how poor they were last season, you'd expect them to get something better than a draw from that. I know they've lost Liam Delap and that, but it's not really an excuse, to be honest. The recruitment has been not too bad, to be fair, so I'd expect them to be picking up more than draws. You know, I am actually going to change it to 2-1. The more I'm talking myself into it, I'm just going to do it. 2-1 to Ipswich, but if it's 1-1, I'm fuming. And the biggest game of the week for me, in my personal opinion, is Sheffield United and Millwall. We previously spoke about this earlier. I think it should be one of the TV fixtures. But can Millwall beat Sheffield United? They've had a really poor start, and I am going to back Millwall to actually do this. I'm going to say 1-0 to Millwall. Millwall's defence, in my opinion, is some of the best in the league. I don't know if that's a ridiculous thing to say. It might be, but I am going to back Millwall for this one. Sheffield United, under Ruben Sellers, not been too great. They're not really making too many signings. The squad, in my opinion, is below that of what you'll expect of a top 6 side. So I think Millwall can take advantage of this and pick up a 1-0 win. And alarm bells will start ringing for Sheffield United. And we love to see it. We really do. Southampton and Stoke. Stoke have had a brilliant start. They've got 6 points. They are top of the table. And Southampton have had 4 points. They're yet to lose. I think they do beat Stoke, though, if I'm being realistic. I'm going to say Southampton win this one. I don't know if to go with 1-0 or 2-1. I think it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to say 1-0. And I'll call it there for now. With them, I'm not too sure on what to think of Will Still, but he's slowly winning me over a little bit, I suppose. We'll have to keep an eye on Southampton in the coming weeks. West Brom and Portsmouth, though, this is an interesting one. West Brom have had a good start. Portsmouth, not too shabby. I think West Brom should look for a win, though, at home. I am going to go with a big scoreline. I think I'm going to say 3-1 to West Brom. And that should be an interesting game, in my opinion. It's one that I'd be keeping an eye out on. A lot of these games I'd be keeping an eye on, to be honest. This is why I love the Championship. There's some brilliant teams here all competing, and you never know how the fixture's going to go. If you told me at the start of the season Sheffield United would be down there with Sheffield Wednesday, I know it's only 2 games played, but I would have thought you were mental. I thought they'd have at least had a point in the first 2 fixtures, but no. Anyways, the last game of the video, Wrexham versus Sheffield Wednesday. Can Wrexham pick up their first win now? I am going to have to say yes, because if I don't, I'm going to look a bit stupid, but Sheffield Wednesday are proving that they've got fight. They know what to do with the small selection of players that they do have. Is Barry Bannon back for this one as well? That could help. But I am going to say Wrexham win. They've got some good players. I'm going to say a 3-0 defeat for Sheffield Wednesday to finish off the video. Wrexham hopefully get their first 3 points, and then the Championship. 3 games in, you're starting to get a gist for how it's gonna start. Obviously, Stoke starting off really well, look promising for now, but it's too early to say right now what's going to happen. But in a couple of weeks' time, when we're about 6 or 7 games in, you get a small gist for it. But it's never too much to go off of the Championship. Very competitive league, as I've said. But thanks for watching this one. Let me know what you think's going to happen down below, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. Subscribing is free and it really helps out the channel, so it means a lot to me. But that's about it. Let me know what you think's going to happen in the comments down below, and if you get more than me right, well done. That is so awkward. No, I balled it in the last minute. No, 3 videos in a row. I need to go now. Bye for now.